da 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 da. When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
I know it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. How could I ever turn my back?
Hey, we back. We back on another Sunday of the Transition Talk Show. I am your host, Train. And this Sunday, man, we're gonna kind of dive back to when we first began to open up the new segment of the show and giving you a little bit of information more about me and exactly why I came up with the Transition Talk Show. A lot of times, like I said, most times, you know, you feel like some people may know you, but then as you begin to grow something, there are people who really don't know you. So in order for them to really be able to know you, I want to be able to give you a little bit more about myself. And this week, I have some special guests, man, who will be joining me, who has probably been with me for more over 20 to 25 years, to be able to give a deeper aspect of myself and why exactly the Transition Talk Show is a show that I believe was one that was meant not to just to help people who I knew, but a community and even abroad. I first would like to introduce Coach Fly. What's going on, Coach?
To all the fathers out there, they gave us this one day when we need to be a father every day, but once again they gave us this day, so happy Father's Day to the fathers, and thank you for having me on the show once again.
Man, I appreciate it. It's even funny that you even said it because, man, Father's Day is a day I really didn't recognize. Because I looked at it as it's not a holiday, it's just a day. And then also from my background, it was really nothing that I thought was something to celebrate.
Well, I mean, I'm listening to what you just said, and I don't think I know that I can honestly say that I may understand how you feel because what I've learned about you after the fact of being a kid to a man that was not situation that wasn't in your life then.
Right.
So just so they may understand why you may feel that way. We know that you know better now.
Yeah.
But when it wasn't there in your life, just to tell somebody, Happy Father's Day. I mean, that was up under your roof.
Right.
So I get that.
And it was and you know, the crazy thing is like the reason why I do love this show because I can really express myself and use myself and my experiences to be able to help other people, you know. And I did grow up to where my biological father really wasn't there. He was a person who even discredited me at one point, you know what I mean? But spent a lot of his time in prison and never did really, I can't speak for someone else, but the connection never did really come to play, you know what I mean? No matter how much you be there, no matter how much you want to be there or you can show to be there, it was just a disconnect that wasn't there. And the person who I knew as my father, who I acknowledge as my father, was a person who, in points of his life, you know, began to become a drug user. And he was addicted, you know, to crack cocaine. And there was a lot of time that he wasn't there. You get what I'm saying? When it was needed. And from there, my mother, you know, had another husband. And for me, he was a person who I saw, you know, was there for my sisters.
On a daily, you're right.
No, I ain't see him on a daily because I wasn't in the house. I was with my grandmother.
That's right, you were with grandma.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the whole aspect of fatherhood just wasn't there. And for me, it was like, you know, it was not something that I really acknowledged like that. You know, so it wasn't until I got older. It wasn't until I began to have children and they was up in age and I began to develop men in my life that I knew I needed to learn from and that was willing, you know, to allow me to be able to learn from.
But not only that, you had came to grips with yourself to where you was open to listen to somebody to tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I realized that I was making, you know, I realized what my errors were getting me.
Wow.
Shot, stabbed, incarcerated numerous of times. And for me to be able to say, this not my life. This not what I pictured. These are none of my dreams. You get what I'm saying?
And now you're talking about consequences from reactions of situations.
Right.
Wow.
So, my teacher and my guardian at times were the street. So that really, it really played a hard role, on life. So, it was like, it really took me, by a whirlwind. So I didn't have a lot of the same understandings or some of the same teachings or whatnot like that as I have today. But that comes from growth and development. It comes from those trials. It comes from those situations on not having those things around that taught me how to become these things and how to be better with it.
But listen, through the goods, the bads, the difference, the right, the wrongs, it's what you learn from it.
Right.
That you, like you say, this wasn't the life you projected, even though you was traveling, down that journey.
Right.
But there was a time that, sometimes they had a thing, God just say, stand still. And you wasn't standing still because you moving on what you was moving on. Doing what, in my opinion, is what you had to be doing in order for you, I'm going to use the word, to survive at that time. Yeah. And sometimes we can get comfortable in what we're doing. And see, normally what happens when you get comfortable is when things go bad.
Yeah.
Because you get relaxed.
Feet done got too clean.
Man.
Then they can snatch the rug right off my body.
And now you're naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my granddad said to me years ago, which I had no clue. He said it's more important being father by earth than by birth. Well, it didn't make sense to me.
Make all the sense in the world to me.
They do now.
Yeah, but it do.
But back then, you like, what are you talking about?
Because I'm thinking, if you birth, he says it's more important being father by earth than birth.
Yeah. That means, man, and it's so funny because, man, I got many children. I didn't birth many, but I've been blessed to be the guardian of many children. Yeah. So I totally understand it, you know what I mean? And the thing that like when we used to say, oh, that's your godmother or that's your godfather, you know what I mean? For me, those became living truths. Just like with Jay, mama actually became my mom. Correct. But it was spiritual connections to it that allowed me to be able to know so. It was having the same last name. It was having the same birthday. It was having, all these likeness that played a role in my life that allowed me to be able to deal with that past life and come into the newness of today and be able to accept it so I could be better in the future, even when the past came back, to visit, I could be better.
Well, there's, whether you believe this or not, but it's fact, it's FACT. Every mistake doesn't mean failure.
Oh, yeah, true.
There are those things that a lot of times individuals are doing things and you just didn't get caught.
True.
And not justifying wrong, but there was a rule among the streets. If you had something going for yourself, you can't be part of what we're doing. No. But you could benefit from if we get back. But you cannot go because you got some good stuff going on.
Right.
And that was a respect factor.
Right.
I can remember them doing that.
Yeah. Like now, watch, as a youngster, I'm not scared to go. It wasn't even about that. And I'm sharing it because mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
We had that other mindset then. Whereas now your mindset is like on point.
Right.
I shared something before. Remember, boy, we was running from the police, headed down.
Oh, yeah.
Headed down. Rose Terrace. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I had on a blue shirt, they on the white shirt. We running from the laws, right? I'm talking about as a kid thinking,
Yeah.
let's change shirts.
Yeah.
And we did.
Oh man.
That's what they still looking for.
A blue shirt and a white
Still
shirt.
looking for them shirts.
So I'm just saying, man. Say, and it gets worse. But it got better, but it gets worse. The laws roll up on you. We wasn't running.
Try to catch your breath.
So I'm just saying, in that kid's mind,
Yeah.
that's why I say, kids, y'all know what, whatever you done, I get it when the people say, y'all ain't did nothing new. You may add some more nonsense to it.
Yeah. But
But
ain't
the
nothing
result-
new under the sun.
Nothing new, man. So when you shared about, well, your mind is not, that's what I'm saying, even though whatever have all occurred.
Yeah. It was intentional. I mean, I won't say it's intentional, but it was purposeful.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
was-
yeah.
For me, it was needed. And I think that's the biggest thing, man, about having these shifts in life. I call them shifts, but I call them transitions because it's just a training. Everything that you do prepares you for the next. What you did today is going to prepare you for tomorrow, like it or not.
And not only that, it's going to help someone else.
Right.
Versus people sitting back choosing. See, we don't get many opportunities to make the choices of what we want to do. Most times we have to take a chance to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
So you're making choices now. To want to talk, give back, tell these are my faults.
Yeah.
Versus worrying about, man, what they gonna think about me if I tell them this, that, and the other. Now this is what happened to me, and hopefully it won't happen to you.
Fact.
My thing is, I had to really come to a space, and I didn't care what somebody felt about me. I had to get to a space where I didn't care what you thought about me. I didn't care how you look at me. I didn't care about what you were saying behind my back.
It's your grown man talking now.
I didn't care what you say to my face. You know what I mean? Because I knew in
they-
my face you
they
gonna
knew
watch how
better.
you see
They-
it.
they know
You
better. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But because you know these things, then those things in the background, they just the scenery.
Well, you know
You
what?
know, so it helps make the scene make you better. You know, anyway. So I couldn't worry about what no one was saying because the only thing that it did would cause blocks on my
No,
personal.
that's
life.
what holds people back.
Yeah.
See, when you exceed other people's expectations of you, that's when they really begin to hate. I didn't think he or I think she can do this.
First
I
words come out
remember
they
when
mouth.
they got it was in trouble. Okay, but and that happened. The trouble happened, but that trouble don't last always.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah.
And if I learn from the trouble, I'm really able to sit down in front of somebody that I may see going in that same direction, maybe on a different street, but the outcome is the same in trouble.
Right.
And I can tell you, don't do that. My mom, there was a coffee table in the living room, and she said, "Boy, quit running before you hit your mouth on that table." My words were, "I ain't never hit it before." And I got a scar to this day on my mouth
Yeah.
from hitting that table.
I cut mine on the mouth the same exact way.
And versus my mama, I said, "My mama, getting a Band-Aid or something." She said, "Don't get no blood on my rug." Cause you know what? Cause I done told you.
Yeah, what not to do.
But not to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, y'all, it's so many things that we came up under coming up that, you know, I don't know what really worked.
Oh yeah, you know, we got away from a lot of things, you know
Really
what I mean,
worked.
that done added, you know what I mean, to the worst of change. But we'll get back into that right after this first video, and then we'll come back. We got in the house, Coach Fly in, Big J, man, we're gonna come right back.
G5 kept me motivated in the booth. Had people mad at me, I was speaking truth. Might be what the count, we would drop the vision. People telling me to stop, man, I'm on a mission. Still going like the Energizer Bunny. I'm running through this money. feeling too good. If you see me, I'm good.
It's G5.
Tell a hater I'm good. I done been through the storm, couldn't see the road. Never will I forget how them days go. There's a blessing in the midst, gotta get to it. Every day's a new level, gotta grind through it. Every challenge was a battle, devil brought it on. But I serve a great God, on my knees I fall. Testimony what I speak, never saw it coming. God pulled my prayer card, man, I was running. I admit I was mad at God. I was lonely walking through the fog. Cried hard when I lost my job. Lost my storage, I done lost it all. But through it all, I was standing tall. Cold morning, no repeat, stays in my head. Curled up many nights, wishing I was dead. But the voice till the neck kept me motivated. Phone call up to heaven, you are appreciated. I need y'all to close your eyes to this one. Hey, if they ask, I'm good. And just vibe with me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, man, I'm feeling too good. I'm smiling more than I ever have. Yeah, if you see me, I'm good. Through every obstacle, in every situation. Hey, tell a hater I'm good. Choked up from the hard cries. Suicidal thoughts, hard times. G5 kept me motivated in the booth. Had people mad at me, I was speaking truth. Might be with the count, we were dropping visions. People telling me to stop, man, I'm on a mission. Still going like the Energizer Bunny. I'm running through this money. Bag gets bigger, that's when people act funny. I'm good, and I mean that when I say that. Push forward, no look backs. Give all no take backs. One day they gon' play this like a throwback. Dark days go play that on replay to sit back. Cold morning on repeat stays in my head. Curled up many nights wishing I was dead. But the voice of the net kept me motivated. Phone call up to heaven.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
And that phone thing.
Oh, same YouTube. Same.
All right, and we back on the Transition Talk. So if you guys just now joining us, we're just still talking about myself a little bit, letting you guys, know a little bit more about me and actually why the Transition Show had came about. And today, man, I have two guests in the house with me, Coach Fly, who actually coached me during high school and even after high school, preparing me for college. And then I have my bro, Big J, who I did a lot with, and we're going to talk about it a little bit because really want you to understand why this thing came about, because it happened not overnight.
Nah.
It happened over a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny, man, because when me and Jay had met, man, I was coming back from Iowa, lost my son, left the working world because everything didn't seem to be going right compared to how I was planning it out for myself, since I was the one who had to do the planning and I had to be the one to do the executing. So when you go against all the odds in high school to still be able to go to college, you get past that, you make that milestone, and then you get to college, and then you begin to able to play your freshman year. You get past that milestone. So I'm on a high, thinking that everything is going, man, how I plan to get away from the ghetto, to get away from the hood, to get away from the projects, to get away from the drugs, to get away from what my eyes saw every day. Then come back, I lose my kid, and I was at a breaking point. And at that breaking point, I ain't want to do nothing right. I became a non-believer.
So you're not even pointing your fingers at nobody.
I'm not pointing at nobody. I literally had said, if there was a God, wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In order for me to be able to accept the choices that I knew was finna come next, because I had already felt dead. So at this point, I'm starting to hustle, starting to learn a little bit. Family been in it forever, so it wasn't that hard. You know what I mean? It was almost like second nature, just actually getting past the nerves and diving in. But once I dived in, it seemed like it was second nature overnight. And I'll never forget, had a cousin, man, who was dealing with bro. And
Well, technically dealing with other kinfolk.
well, technically dealing with bro.
I knew he was gonna have some kind of rebuttal.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you see the rebuttal? Technically.
So what happened was, man, you know, I was so angry, you know, in those phases. I was like 19. I was angry, man. Like, I ain't care how it happened, what happened, whatever. You know, if it went against the grain, I'm for it. And they come up in the apartments. They in a taxi cab, too. That looked so like, a taxi cab over here? Like, what the world? So it's a taxi cab full of Negroes up in it, deep. And he jump up out of there. Who over there named Boo? Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, man, all these dudes, my cousin is little.
But let it be known, I never met Boo.
So
Whoa.
I never saw it.
So,
I just
man,
knew his name.
I became the Life movie. When they were looking for the dude who had sex with the girl and everybody became that one, that was me. I'm Boo. You know?
Y'all notice how he just threw that, and then Jay didn't know because he never met, but he knew the name. Then he just said, "The girl, I'm lost."
No,
Well, now in the movie Life. You remember the movie Life?
Oh, okay.
When he
Now,
called,
I'm back. I'm
yeah,
back.
when they had
I'm
all
back.
of them stand up there.
So I'm the pappy?
I'm the pappy.
I'm
the
back.
pappy.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So it was like that. You know
Okay.
what I mean? He looking for Boo, but Boo right here on the side of him. You know
Wow.
what I mean? But
So
I
he
said,
just became Boo.
I'm Boo.
Yeah.
So if you want to do something, do it with me. So, man, him having words back and forth, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, whatever you going to do? Ain't nobody going nowhere. I stay here. You know what I'm saying?
So if you go in the house to get somebody, it's gonna be you.
Yeah, so, and it took for Boo to actually have to, you know, him for, nah, chill, it's all right. And for them to talk, you know, and then from that point, you know, we kind of like clicked because Boo wound up going to jail.
Yeah.
So I got to come to him and let him know, man, look, my cousin done went to jail, but because of family and because of how I looked at my family and I looked at me, you know, protecting my family and stuff like that, he owed him some money. So I went to him and said, he in jail, but I have your money Friday.
So you kind of gotten thrown into a situation that you didn't sign up. Well, I'm not gonna say you didn't sign up for it, but you
That
wasn't.
just wasn't directly his
Yeah, it
situation.
wasn't directly mine, but it was
Because
one of the best things.
yeah, he was doing something separate. you know?
Correct.
Yeah, I was doing my own thing,
Yeah.
you know, but it was something that wound up developing a strong bond, you know what I mean? And it was just off of being a man of your word.
So when you
Fact.
said to you, I had your money on Friday, you started developing a bond with him.
Nah, it didn't. It didn't just develop out that
Oh,
quick.
oh,
So what
okay.
ended up happening? Because for one, he didn't trust me, and I didn't know exactly who he was. You know what I'm saying? So I started asking around a little bit. Then, and like even that day when I seen him stand up, he was the first cat in that era that ever stood up to me. So I was saying to myself like, this little ninja remind me of me. So I'm like, let me take this ninja up under my wing, man. You know, because then I seen something wild, but I was like,
But listen what he said.
I can do something with him.
Good, bad, or different. Back in the gap.
Yeah.
That's what would happen. Like I said, not justifying wrong.
Yeah.
But that's what would happen. Like you just said.
Because see,
remind
real
me of
gonna
me.
recognize real.
Boy,
But
this
now, if I didn't see it was some real in him, he was talking like that, I'd have put that erase in his life. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
He would
But-
have tried.
Yeah.
Hey, Blue. Here we go.
But nah, it was really like, looking back, it was something that I needed. You know what I mean? Because I was growing in a world I didn't know, but I was so accepting because, man, of my own pain.
But if I don't hear what y'all just said, because I know the love that y'all got for one another, that I would never know it was never.
Oh, but the codes get a whole lot more deeper. I'm gonna tell you, it get a whole lot more deeper.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, and to even bring it up to speed, you know, it was like even my second trip when I came home, you know, and I came and talked with him, I didn't even want to talk to him at first. because I was pissed off.
Not at him, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
he wanted me to go to court with him. And
I was
like,
going to court for him.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah.
We're not talking about nothing with no commercials in it, right?
Oh,
This,
no.
this is fact.
Nah, this real life.
and I was like, I'm not going to that courthouse.
Yeah.
I said, I seen y'all give you some money. You can take some money. He said, I don't need no money. I need you to be there. I was like, I ain't going to that courthouse, nigga. So I said, I'm going to a courthouse. So I'm getting drugged in there by 7, 8 laws. I'm not going on my own.
I need you. I'm not going. Okay.
Yeah.
I will pay. It's I'm narrating
but
this.
it
ladies
wasn't
and
a
gentlemen.
situation with no money. He needed the support.
Yeah.
needs support.
I was on my way to prison that day.
Whoa.
I was going to court knowing I wasn't coming back. I knew it. I had already worked out everything. Me and my attorney, you know what I mean? Shout out Calvin Johnson. You know,
Calvin Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
I already knew everything. You know, we talked about it, man. Told him what I needed to do. Did what I needed to do. Time got reduced, you know, but I knew I wasn't coming back. You know what I'm saying? So before I went that morning, I stopped by and told him, man, this it right here. You know what I mean? What's up? And I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody finna mess with you in the courthouse. The mindset, because the mindset of hustling and being in the streets, I don't want nothing to do.
Yeah.
Around them white people.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, excuse my French audience, but you know, that was my mindset at that time. I was in my straight, primitive ninja mind. So I was just like, nah, it wasn't nothing nobody gonna tell me on earth that was gonna make me go walk down, you know, go up in this courthouse.
Yeah. So so it's like, you know, when I left, my mind was already made up on what it was gonna be when I came home. Reason being,
Explain that.
When I left, I already knew this world was over.
Okay.
Because this the first time that I'm leaving, but I'm leaving my children. See, the first time I went, I lost my son. Second time I went, my children were losing me. For me to have that understanding, I began to realize I was being things in life that I said I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be my father to my children. I didn't want to be my mother to my children. I didn't want to be none of these. I wanted to be better. But I wasn't being better because I didn't know how to let go of a life that I felt saved me when I already felt like I was dead. Crazy how my darkened days were my highlight days. But I realized that was over when I went. You know what I mean? And so when I came home, everything around that life,
it was over.
I was over with.
Yeah, you were done with it.
So even going to go talk with JCJ, I ain't want to see him. I don't got nothing to say. I ain't mess with nobody.
You know, and I was still deep in that dark too at that time still. But what he did know, I had went even deeper into the darkness the whole time he was gone.
Yeah, because when I came to go see him, I saw a person I didn't know. I saw a person.
Boy, I had done tell you, I was in there, I ain't had no shave, no haircut.
Oh, you looking? Oh no.
I was hood. I mean, I for some reason I went into some kind of cocoon where it's like I wasn't fooling with nobody. I was just staying in the room. I mean, everything that I had going. People coming there like, "Hey Jay, what we gonna do about this?" I don't care. Just do what y'all gonna do. So I got cans
you was
out.
going through a transition with yourself.
Yeah, like a whole battle within myself, man. I was sitting in that joke, I got fatter. I'm talking, I was straight Jabba the Hutt up in there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing nothing but eating and just chilling. I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't even really watching TV, just sitting in the room.
Yeah.
Is it called depression? Or?
Yeah, you know what? I guess that's the technical term for it. Then I went to a depression.
It was almost like walking into a room seeing a zombie, because he didn't know I was coming. Didn't nobody know. Like I said, I'm fresh home. I ain't talking to nobody. But just something told me.
So you knew where to go find him.
Yeah, I knew exactly where to go.
Yeah.
You know. So, but when I went, I opened the door. You know, it was like he saw a ghost. But the way that he looked, you know what I mean, was like. And I told him, I said, man, I don't know what's going on with you. This ain't you. Man, I ain't, I don't know what it was, but
See, that
I
means
just had to
God
come-
probably was
yeah.
working on you.
Oh,
Indirect.
man, say, and I was down to like my last probably about $20,000-$30,000. I was just strictly living until I was gonna run out of money. Wasn't doing nothing.
With no plan in place.
No plan in place.
But you identified how you looking at it and still had in
Still
your
had
new spirit.
He had empathy or whatever
Yeah.
word, which one of them words.
And it was just like from that point, I let them know, look, I love you, you know what I mean? This ain't you, and I ain't gonna come over here because I ain't gonna see you like this. But that life that we live together, that dynamic duo, that team, is over with.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah, that's
wrap.
heartfelt what I'm hearing, man, because you could have been like had that, I'm gonna call it that
Yeah, could have.
Yeah.
Didn't mean my life would have had a hold on because I didn't have nothing. I was just out of gas with everything. I had a whole team of people, man, depending on me that I abandoned.
you abandoned. Wow.
Then I did appoint one dude, man, and salute Popeye, man.
Yeah.
I appointed Popeye, man. I was like, hey, right, bro. Do all that little stuff because I wasn't never know.
Okay.
I wasn't really with a whole lot of writing, Nah, that ain't never been my thing. I'm like, I'll send some money, but just actually taking time and writing and doing all the, the other stuff, I wasn't with none of that. And that dude, he kept his word. That's why to this day, and old Popeye, man, if he ever in a jam and I can help him, I'm going to help him.
Yeah, it's my bro, man. He literally did that. He consistently wrote me. He consistently kept me informed about music and how things was going. And even when it fell out, then when he got in trouble, he in jail. He writing me from jail. He never lost the connection. You know what I mean? And it was things like that really helped me. You know what I mean? To be able to break something because even him, he had, by the time I came home, he was turning. He was leaving the streets. It was a dude that was wild. I ain't want to be in a car with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's allowed to shoot out, allowed to jump off at any second ride with that cat.
Wow. Yeah. But, it worked out for the better. You know what I mean? And I say that because, man, everything, man, Jay been through, it's been constant shifts, constant transitions. And it was so funny when I really went on my personal journey to seek out myself, not in prison, but out here. He was the first person I confided in. All he did was,
I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit.
you know what I mean? He gave me the blues, and
Because he had came to so much knowledge that I don't know if it was already, but it just was bam. And he was hitting me with it.
He just throwing it on you though.
Say, I'm gonna tell you the movie. It's two movies that would come to mind when we talk about this. I don't know if y'all ever seen a movie called They're Alive. They're Alive, or what's it called?
They're alive.
They're Alive. And it was basically a movie about where if you put on these sunglasses and you look around, you can see people. Like if they're a real person, you're gonna see a person. But if they was an alien or whatever, you
have
can
a
see that they
skeleton face.
Yeah, have a weird look. Like, oh, they not
So
real.
you would know, yes.
And Roddy Piper and David, what's his name? The one played the dad on
I
ATL.
can't think of his name, but he in Greenleaf. And all
Greenleaf,
that.
he the main star. And anyway, so and they, he kept Roddy Piper said, put these glasses on, you gonna see what I'm talking about. I don't want doggone glasses, man. Get away from me with them glasses. So that's how me and him was with the knowledge. He kept trying to give me knowledge, and I was like, get away from me with that stuff. It makes my brain hurt. But once David put on them glasses, he was like, oh my goodness, I see now. And see what he did with me. He woke me up because I was completely a dead man walking. Then when he started giving me all this stuff, I knew at that moment, like, see, what I learned about spirits, negative and positive energy, my negative energy did not want to leave that negative energy. So once he started teaching me stuff, just taking me away from that, the spirits get aggravated because they want to keep running. They want to keep running a train on my soul. They want to keep going back to back.
Spirits are real.
They are.
They real, you know what I mean? But we're going to go to the second video, and then we're going to be right back.
Hey, we got one more take.
You got it
Action.
good.
Post up where it's hot,
Yeah.
tell them you make sure that he got through.
Yeah. I done hit that weed and I'm feeling like I'm walking on clouds.
the shit, you know what I'm saying? Ah.
Slide down the freeway with a blunt in my hand. Feeling good about myself, I just made a few bands. Booked a flight to LA, I like my feet in the sand. Got a bad bitch with me and I think she Japan. I told her you don't need your bag, we gon' shop when we land. Got my hands in the pants, that wasn't part of the plan. Ooh, we she just my type, she ain't full of the hype. She come from a dark place, she understand my life. Boarded up homes, take a tour of my city. I work for every dollar, nigga. I don't show no pity. Say being a thug, nigga, man, that shit just hit me. Popularity is dangerous, gotta watch the envy. People said I never make it, but I'm reaching the top. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't reach the top. It's easier than said, what you doing, my nigga? Not supporting your own, being a typical nigga. One day we gon' come together. Sky is the limit, we can change the weather. I'm flying in the feather, I'm so smooth with the shit. Since I was a little boy, I always knew I'd be rich. Gotta put your mind to it, ain't no business for quitters. Had to call a time out, had to switch up my picture. Gotta show up with your best when you see big hitters. This money up for grabs, gotta be more quick. You know, we just riding and sliding down the freeway. We ain't looking back.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
That you going away with how that picture looked on the cover.
That's it.
I knew it seemed like
That's what, man.
all right. We back on the Transition Show. My guest, man, Coach Fly and Big J. We was just talking about how real these spirits are. And really, the thing about it is how it has assisted us along the way, you know what I mean? Because, like I tell people, man, as I begin to understand and learn that the body is nothing but a car for the spirit to be seen. That's all it is. So the spirits are already there and the connections are already there, but we don't see it because we see people. But it takes a walk. It takes a journey for it to begin to make sense. I call it the gathering because you just getting all this stuff, but you don't know what you got it for until some time go along and then you realize what you had, you know what I mean, had meaning. And that's just like the relationships, you know, people wouldn't even know y'all related.
Yeah. Isn't that something, man?
We wouldn't even know y'all related if we wasn't already connected, you know what I mean?
That spiritual connection. Yeah. All of us actually end up being related.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coach Fly Trail.
Yes.
I'm killing the coach through my dad.
Yes.
I'm killing the bro through my mom.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yes. See, life, y'all, I'm going to lay it out here just like this. And I want you to process it before you even respond to it. Life is a big movie. And you are the star of your own show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it has no commercials.
Yeah.
So whatever your actions are,
I only
the
got some
consequences.
commercials.
Yeah.
Well, no, you created the commercial.
Video playing on commercial.
You created it. But I'm saying you are the actor.
Yeah.
You're the main actor
Yeah, the man.
of your show.
Yeah.
Until you allow someone else to start dictating.
That and then also understanding who your co-stars are to make it a good movie.
That's why you gotta know. That's why you have to know who's around you.
Yeah.
Be it good, bad, or different. Know who's around you. And it's not for you to change them,
Nah.
but for you to change you.
Yeah. But in the crazy thing is, for other people to be allowed to see that change. See, if everything was just walking spirits, you know, you don't see nothing.
Man, spirits are so real.
Yeah.
Someone that I introduced you to, the Marion Barber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, rest in peace,
Okay,
Mary.
he rest in peace, MB. He was so big, and he was getting ready to change his name to the Thou, the Third. He gave me that book called The Sefer, which is a Bible, talking about Enoch and all these people. But he said, Coach Fly, in the Bible, you all hear him, they saying thee and thou. So he wanted his name to be the Thou, and he kept the third because he was MB the Third. And I used to didn't really understand it until he said, this young man, may he rest in peace, because June 1st was made a year, and his birthday was June 10th.
There go that 10.
He knew the whole man. He knew that whole Bible. So
Yeah.
I had to discipline myself. You know what I just said? To sit back and listen, even though all the what I thought was nonsense then, because it wasn't making sense to me.
Keep saying what you're saying, but we're gonna talk about nonsense because nonsense is actually the sense unseen.
Listen, he was showing me him. See, and I know I cannot rewind this thing. I can't Michael Jackson this and moonwalk. It's some things I saw now.
Did you understand what he was telling you?
Wow.
Yeah.
And I knew the help that was needed. I said that was needed.
Yeah.
But what about the help that was wanted?
But I will say this too, cause I know you did everything you could for that man. And I watched Train. Well, we sit at the house and Train generally. I watched Train post so much into trying to help him that he was losing himself. He was really.
Jay, you must have been very attentive because it got to the point where, if I may, go you down here again type stuff, you know. Listen, I was on call. Okay, I was on call when I wasn't on call. If that makes sense.
I got you.
Yeah.
But we were doing it on a mission. Okay, that's how I call myself tag teaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can be easily 3 times in the same day.
Trust and believe, I remember.
But one thing that he did that really that stays in my spirit. Because every time we pull up, we want to get somebody a C note. We go in the store, it didn't matter. You got the money. You want to give him a C note.
His heart, he had a giving heart.
And then, oh man, he's an angel, man. Then he says something that was so deep. And I'm going to share it with y'all. Coach Fly, why you want to stop me from blessing somebody? Whoa.
I remember he had said, nobody can't take nothing from me because I'm giving it away.
Correct.
I remember, you
Correct.
was worried, like, come on, man, you got to quit.
Yeah.
And then he would say, I want to get rid of everything I got so I can find out who really care for me. Y'all know how powerful that is?
Yeah.
That's deep.
You know how powerful. See, again, why I say to understand. Then I'm like, boy, you going crazy.
Going amazing.
He really was a black Jesus, man.
Going amazing.
He was black Jesus.
And I think that's the thing that that we don't really get to see because we don't really try to learn who we are inside. We too busy focusing on manicuring the outside.
Manicure.
You know what I mean?
The cosmetics.
This was gonna wither.
Yeah.
Like it or not. No matter how much you try to do whatever you're gonna do to it, it's gonna still show you
it's gonna wear on down.
And to sit down and have I know we talking about this one individual, and it's not a negative we talking about.
Nah.
Yeah.
Was so intelligent. If you would just listen to him.
Boy.
I had plenty of days.
You'd be like, oh man, this dude.
Plenty of days.
But for them rotten jokers that did what they did with his
yeah, plenty of days.
Yeah.
Good dude. He really was my favorite running back.
Man, come on now.
But I'm gonna show you something. It was no way if change came, even with Coach knowing me, I would have been able to be in that position.
No, not till you got to where you are. You graduated.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because even before that, like a lot of people don't know. Probably for like the last past 5 years, man, Coach been on a road with each other. You know what I mean? And it's just been on.
And with different ball players.
Yeah, you know, and it really has been on a high level. You know what I mean? Purpose or cause. And for me, it was like, man, let me keep myself around somebody who, you know, coached me up. That can still continuously coach me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what happens is being grown, you begin to see how now it's a give and take both ways. You know, because when you're young, you don't let people in.
Okay, yeah.
But when you're older now, I can tell, you know what I mean, you some more. and because I can tell you some more, you could tell me some more.
Even if it's right or wrong, you still learn from it.
Yeah,
learn that it was wrong
because
or
of the
learn that
porn.
it was right. Yes,
but it's like I tell my old lady, hey, we ain't got no kids that's good or bad. I don't know good or bad. I don't know no good kids. I don't know no bad kids. I know kids.
Yeah. And the key word they got stuck to their name is kids.
Yeah. You know? But the thing is, these are experiences, and it's gonna take the experience both ways for you to be able to come to a good choice within yourself moving forward. See, everything that I've done, this is the reason why I do what I do. Because everything that I've done, man, if I did not do it, I would not be here. If I did not go through it, I wouldn't have a story to be able to tell you.
Facts.
Cause
think about it. When you get a book, if you get a book and you open it up, and it's goody two shoes from the beginning all the way to the end, that's not an exciting book.
Nah.
But if you get a book or a movie that starts off on them, whoa, you get the trauma and all this different stuff.
Attention.
Now it got your attention.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be like, whoa, this is a good book because if you have a movie or a book that it doesn't have adversity in it, you are not gonna say that was a good movie or a good book.
Yeah. Absolutely correct.
We're not even. I won't even. I still just look at it as action packed.
Yeah, there you go, action.
I take this young man. He rides with me. I go to one of my buddies' house. If you don't mind me giving him a plug, Dallas K9.
Yeah.
And he's rolling with me now. All of a sudden, all his energy now is turned to helping another kid that's going through a situation.
Yeah.
Not even about him.
Yeah.
So we roll out there, and all the introduction, we get past that. Then he gets to take a test. And I wish you could have saw your face. We put the guy in a dog protection suit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah.
Say. Now we looking at the dog. He giving these commands, right? And they commands. And if it's almost like riding on an airplane. You have no control of that plane. You hoping that God and the pilot get you safe.
Right.
Say, man, this youngster put the suit on, and this dog. Whatever the command was the command, and we got to see it. I think I saw you even post it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, man, this dog did some things, boy, and all you can hear is, whoa.
Yeah.
And when he say, transport,
Dog jump on his back.
dog get on your back and push you.
Might need to go that way.
Don't sway left, don't sway right. You know what I just said? Then he give another signal. The dog sit there. Well, it's not attention, but
Target.
When he say target, and many of us that was around, even his kid, like I'm looking at this mic. Now y'all right there. Target.
Oh man.
Yep.
My boy Mike got to say, Cole, let me move. Because he might miss his target. No. Then he told the dog what arm to attack. The left arm, dog went and did just that.
That's how he was, coach. Even before the good dog training days, I can remember some situations where I don't really like to go too much into stuff, but he had a dog with Taz, wasn't it? Was it Taz or Ag? Ag. Man, that dog.
Ag.
Aggravated time.
Say that dog there. He was going up against another cat, And I just watched him everything he was telling that dog was doing. He said, hey, you know what to do?
He
said, turn around like this.
John, what you saw that day. That night, should I say.
That dog said he could tell that dog, like right now, if we were just standing here, he could tell that dog, left arm, right arm, whatever he would tell him, that dog, it's like him and that dog was like one, like a remote control changing channels on the TV. He said, get him by the ankle. Get him by the ankle.
I'm going to have to
grab his foot. Grab his
know what we're talking about.
We finna go back to transition show because, I don't need the feds in here like Mike Vick type stuff and nothing like that.
Oh, no.
But nah, it's all
the number you have dialed is not in service. Please be sure you
But nah, these things are good, man, because this what it take. This is naturally what it take for you to be able to make your own personal transition when you know that you're going through a space where it's asking and it's requiring you to do something else, where it's asking you to do something different. What we think is that it's so far-fetched, it's going to be so dramatic of a change, till we hold ourselves back. But when you go through it, you'll begin to realize the real ones is actually going to be
The real
there.
ones.
And it's going to continuously be able to support you through.
But that's when you're in tune with your spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach, I got to tell you this. Like, he used to call me, and he could call me, and I'd be like, oh, my goodness. Like, what's wrong, man? What's going on? He had to tell me one day, I think I had to apply by my 10th or 11th time doing it. He said, bro, I'm not getting in no trouble no more, man. So you can calm down. It ain't no, these are no bad
You're
calls.
wondering what's wrong.
Because he used to call, I just be like, all right, what's going on?
I was on, but anybody like, for me, it was a full 360.
Yeah.
It was a full 360. I went
Full.
I'm talking about snap like that.
I went from you know what I mean, somebody in my trunk, you know what I mean, to trying to help people out.
Facts.
Full 360.
Facts.
So what I'm listening to, once again, going back to spirit, once you started listening to your spirit, and for sure God,
Yeah.
and looking at your situation when it was nowhere near what you expected, what you would be doing, I need to make a change.
And to make it a little bit more clear, when I got to the phase of where I could trust me and not trust what I see.
Trust me. Wow.
I was always hearing on the inside, I just wasn't following it.
Yeah.
I just was ignoring
Do
it.
you know how powerful that is, what you just said? I always knew.
Yeah.
But we chose to listen to the other voice, yeah.
Yeah, I always do. It was always on me. See, what made the most clearest sense to me was when I told myself, I said, man, look, you trying to be a good dude in a dirty game.
And them two don't mix.
That's like trying to be brave and a coward at the same time.
Yeah. So it's just like, plenty of time.
Wow.
You fire a gun and be like, man, I ain't mean to, but I had to.
Yeah. It's a contradiction to each other.
I didn't mean to, but I had to.
And so with yourself, you really feel as though you going crazy because this is the battle with yourself.
Oh, man, them voices get deep.
You know what I mean?
Them voices get deep, man.
So it was till I really said, what's inside, what's speaking out, I got to let you out. Because I ain't going crazy out here. I'm going crazy in here.
That's deep.
It is.
That's deep.
The moment that I let it go, the moment that
That's
it
deep.
up,
What you just said, I'm going crazy in here.
That's the part of the game a lot of people don't, I ain't gonna sway too far, but to add on to what you said, and it's like, I always tell people all the time, and if they say anything different, I can tell them you're a lie, because I think everybody heard two voices, because it'd be one, like someone jump out, then, you hear one voice say, knock him out.
Go for it.
Shoot him,
Yeah.
shoot that cat. Then you hear this then the other one be so like,
you going to jail.
just stop or you go to jail, boy. Go home.
Wait a minute.
Go home.
I like it. You get a chance to go home if you don't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can go home if you don't.
Man, go home.
Over here, the
man.
other cat saying, man, go home for what? He still done said, or she done said,
Get him, man. Get him. I'm telling you let him get away with it. Somebody else gonna try you. The other voice, it don't matter if you're not over here. Go home.
And to clear some things up, right? Like, when I had been in some stuff with some people, and out of anger, I didn't feel wrong. I didn't feel wrong about it till when it was over, and I did something to somebody, and
say
now
that was wrong.
Man, you didn't have to do that.
Man.
This me. So then this me saying it to myself.
that means you were never a bad person.
Nah.
You just wasn't listening to you.
I wasn't listening. You know what I mean? And the reason why, because I didn't trust it, because even though on the inside you are growing, you don't see yourself growing. All you still holding pictures of it when you was defenseless. I hadn't been defenseless in a long time.
Frank, can you repeat that? You're holding pictures.
Yeah, you're holding images of yourself when you was defenseless.
Wow.
But I hadn't been
powerful.
defenseless in a long time. And I hadn't had nobody attempting to hurt me, do anything to me in a long time.
But you still caught up.
But I'm caught in that, and I'm caught in that state of presence because I'm not seeing myself nor hearing myself show me the growth of myself. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing outside. But we're at the end of the show, man.
Oh man, come on. When we can get
know
them all down,
I know this been good. We probably got to do a part.
We're gonna have to, because we can't cram it all into one session, man.
And I saw y'all being real safe about some things.
Hey, we still a statute of limitation on some stuff.
Hey,
trying to get you no trouble. I ain't know he.
Our producer over there, Blue, he laughing. I'm listening. I'm looking at them. It's almost like they giving eye signal hands. Like, nah, don't say that.
You know what? Let's say real talk, fam. It's like me and him. So we've been around each other so much. We talk without talking. We can just look at each other, and it's like he can just tell, like, all right, where we finna go. Or I can look at him a certain way and be like, say, dog, you might not want to say nothing else to him, man. Or,
right.
You know, we just automatically be knowing.
I saw when he threw the car in park and say, we don't need the feds. Go ahead on me.
Yeah, but man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to this Sunday show, man. Thanks to my guests again, Coach Fly, Big J, for coming out, man, supporting as always, being able to help me be able to share more of me. You know what I mean?
And I heard him say maybe part 3. I don't even think part 3 can finish this.
Man,
because I'm just it's like a good movie. Like man, when they gonna show the next series? No, 3. It got to go past 3.
I don't know, man. I don't know how much they'll never buy the book.
Hey man, thank you for having me on the show, man. And I like to say again, Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man.
Happy Father's Day.
I don't care if y'all say he was a bad father. Good. Happy Father's Day. One thing about starting the right thing is to start it.
Yeah.
I just heard y'all talking about it.
And and before we close, I can talk about a lot of things, but I talk about it now because those situations are better today. Some are not where I may want them to be, but they where they need to be, and they're a whole lot better.
But you say it's best today.
Yeah. So, man, we closing out. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the
Transition Talk.
Transition Talk.
Appreciate y'all.
Cops keep killing us, niggas keep drilling us. You ain't really feeling us, talking like you been with us. Judge keep on tricking us, he wasn't in the field with us. Killer be killed, that's how it is, it get treacherous. Stuck off in the cell, wanna go home, but I can't. Old head told me this home for now, young nigga, but it ain't. I'ma stand on all 10 regardless. Mama made a man who heartless. Think about my daughter, that's what made this little time the hardest. Keep it stitched lip, I ain't never told on no man. You can ask the plug from day one. I ain't never switched roles, man. I was on that road, man. CO yelling cuff up, black box on my wrist, shit. I can't even touch nothing. Tryna call baby, she ain't answer, so it's fuck her. Shoulda never trust her. She fucking with them busters, no rhymes, just a pen and pad. Hoping that I look up. 10 years of probation, ain't hoping that I fuck up. No shoulder to lean on. Sometimes I'm better. Thinking about mud and bricks, never thought it'd come to this. We should be at the club popping bottles trying to fuck a bitch. I got all these bricks, but that don't mean shit without the click. I gotta take a sip every time I think about your kids. Seen Jaden at the store, don't know me, but he know my name. I talk to Unc every day, but still don't even know his pain. Veronica, only son gone. I know it's driving her insane. She told me watch these niggas, cause these niggas ain't what they claim. I cried 100 nights for Briss. He told me put my heart in this. How you kill Bob, bitch, even if you started it. They ain't give a shit, so she still on my target list. Get them all by myself, you don't want no parts of this. 7th grade, I lost my granny, you don't even understand me. Mama don't fuck with the family, it's too much, Papa's Annie. Having dreams about a mansion, more kids, I'm expanding. Get on stage and win a Grammy, hoping that they don't blame me. Catch me lacking, then they will, so I gotta stay with the steel. Still in the booth, still out here trying to get a meal. Still in the trenches, trapping still, I'm on the block for real. I feel like Biggie when P. Diddy was trying to get that deal, nigga.